Hey, listen, should we sell knowledge or should it be completely free? Find out my take on it on this episode of the Unlock Success Podcast.
This is the Unlock Success Podcast. We're helping entrepreneurs around the world dive deep into the keys you need to shatter excuses, believe in yourself, and help you achieve your highest goals. Here's your host, 8-figure entrepreneur, and the living legend of internet marketing, Anthony Morrison.
Hey. What's up? Anthony Morrison here, and welcome to another episode of the Unlock Success Podcast. If you're a new listener, my goal with this podcast is to help you unlock success, help you figure out how to have success in your life, in your business, in your relationships, pretty much in all areas, right? There's always this one thing that's holding us back from being massively successful. My hope is that the episodes of that we do here of this podcast will help you pinpoint that one thing for you if you're not having the success that you truly want or know that you should have, right? That you deserve. And I think it starts with belief, right? Believing that you deserve to have success. And I'm here to tell you that every single one of you listening to this podcast right now, you deserve to have success. There's nobody that deserves success more than someone else, right? You have to work for it. It's not easy. You know, it requires sacrifice, right? But if you're willing to put in the time, the energy, and the sacrifice to have success, we all deserve it, right? So it starts with belief, right? You got to believe in yourself. And I think that's important. And to that point, to this episode, the topic of this episode is, you know, should we sell knowledge or should it be free? Right? So should we sell knowledge or should it be free? And it's interesting. I had a conversation with about, almost 1,000 people about this last week. And it was interesting to hear some of the perspectives. And I think that, you know, a lot of people think information should be free, right? And implementation should cost money, meaning I should teach you everything for free. Everything, give you all my knowledge completely free. But then if you want me to help you implement it, I should charge you. Then there's other people that say, no, knowledge should not be free. You should pay for it. I have this knowledge. It's a great thing. And if you want it, you're going to have to pay for it. And if you want me to help you implement it, you still got to pay for that too, right? And I'll be honest with you. Me personally, I believe that you can find a mixture of both. I believe you can give enough information to people for free to help them decide and determine if the paid information is really good for them, right? Is it really something they should do? Is it really something that will benefit them, right? So I don't condone selling something to somebody who isn't ready for the something that they bought. I believe that there should be a pathway to sales. You should give away something for free. Like, for instance, in almost everything we do, we give away a free ebook. There's not a ton to this ebook, but it gives kind of a preface of what we're going to sell. So you can determine if you think it's for you or not, right? It's not like you got to spend money to figure out if it's even something in the realm of reality for you. So I do think that there's a place for giving away some knowledge for free, but not all of it. I heard a lot of people ranting and raving and yelling about how you shouldn't sell a course and everything is free and anything in a course you can find on the internet for free. Well, let me just tell you something right now. There aren't, people making millions because they've Googled enough information, okay? A lot of times it's assimilation of the information. It's the structure that you pay for. Why do we go to school? Why do you pay a college tuition? Think about that. It costs money. It's not free. Now they said, you can't compare the two. Absolutely, you can compare the two. All of the information that you learn in college, you can learn on Google. If you Google, trigonometry, you can literally take classes, watch free YouTube videos of trigonometry all day long. If you Google physics, if you look at organic chemistry, all of this stuff is taught online for free. All of this information is free. You know what kills me? You go to college and you pay your hard-earned money to learn English. You've been speaking English for 18, 19, 20 years before you get to college, and you got to spend money to learn English. That's crazy to me. That's insane, right? But we do it, and we don't question it. College isn't free. In our society, knowledge costs money. It just simply doesn't matter what type of knowledge, whether it's high school, college, trade schools, courses, whatever. Knowledge costs money, right? And there's a reason for it. Number one, the person has taken the time to structure it. In college, they structure all of the education you're going to get, and they structure it in a way that they know is going to be best received by you. It's going to give you the best chance to receive the information, understand the information, implement the information, and honestly, truly learn what it is that you've been taught. That's what you pay for. You pay for that, and you pay for access to somebody to ask questions to, right? Maybe sometimes. And it works. And the same thing happens with courses, online courses. Should you sell your knowledge or should you give it away for free? You should sell it. Because if you take the time to assimilate that, put it in a structure, and teach people how to do something, there's value in that, right? There's value in it. Absolutely. And you can argue it all day long, but the fact of the matter is, when you assimilate information in a way that people can consume it properly, it leads to more success. And the second reason is because when you give people something for free, most of the time they don't use it. It's just part of life. It's human nature, right? It is truly human nature. How many times have you been given a free coupon and not used it? Think about that. And I know if you're listening to this, I know for a fact you've done it. Somebody gave you a free coupon, $10 off, and you never used it. It sat on your kitchen counter. It wasn't a priority. But I guarantee you, if you paid for a coupon book, right? Remember those old school? I don't know if they still do this anymore, but if you paid for a book of coupons and you spent $5 or $6 on that book of coupons, I guarantee you, next time you leave the house, you're going to look, make sure there's no coupons for where you're going because you put out some money for it, for access. You see what I'm saying? When you give away free courses, you almost do an injustice to the people that you're giving it away to because ultimately they're not going to go through it. They're not going to use it. They're not going to pay attention to it. They have no skin in the game. They have no investment. They have no commitment. And without that commitment, they won't learn. And without learning, they'll never succeed at whatever it is that you're trying to teach them. So in my personal opinion, you should sell courses. You should sell your knowledge. Knowledge should not be free. However, you can blend this. For instance, we sell all of our courses, but once somebody buys from us, we provide a lot of knowledge for free. We do a weekly webinar, actually do 2 weekly webinars with my students every single week now, completely free. All free knowledge. So I think you have to understand, selling knowledge actually helps the consumer. It helps the customer, right? So if you're sitting there and you want to build a digital course, you want to be a coach, you want to be a consultant, and you've been thinking, I just don't know if I can sell my information. You can, and you should, and it's okay to do it. There's nothing wrong with it. You know something that's going to help somebody. You know something that's going to help somebody solve a problem. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with sharing that with them. And there's nothing wrong with charging for it, right? Why do we pay attorneys? Their knowledge. That's literally it. So should they just be giving it out for free all over the world? No, they shouldn't. It's just knowledge. That's it. Nothing else. There's no real work. It's just their knowledge, but we pay for it. If you're stuck in this rut, I'm wondering, should you sell your knowledge? Let me be the first person to give you permission to sell your knowledge, right? As long as when you sell that knowledge, you're there for those people that have purchased it from you. You're there for them. You show up for them like they showed up for you. And that's the most important part in the knowledge business. If you're going to be in the business of coaching, consulting, training, selling courses, you got to show up for the people that show up for you. They show up by taking out their wallet and their credit card and buying your course and your information. You got to show up for them by giving them access, by educating, and by doing the very best that you can to help them solve the problem that they bought your information to solve, right? As long as you show up for them, then there's absolutely nothing wrong with selling knowledge. So, look, we get a lot of emails. I come up with a lot of topics for our podcast based on those emails. This is one that I had a big conversation, like I said, with over 1,000 people. And it was interesting to see the points of view. But ultimately, at the end of the day, knowledge is not free. The assimilation of knowledge is not free. The structure of knowledge is not free. And you should feel perfectly fine selling your information. So I know that there are a lot of people that listen to my podcast that are course creators, or you're getting ready to create a course or consulting or coaching. And I want to give you permission right now to sell your knowledge, help people solve problems, and ultimately make the world a better place. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the podcast, and I look forward to seeing you next week with another episode of the Unlock Success Podcast.